First it was Florian Wirtz, then it was Thomas Muller, the latest superstar to exodus from the Bundesliga is Hugo Ekitike. That's right, he's a palindrome, don't you know? Without further ado, let's just get into the video. As always, the news was broken by, here we go, by Fabrizio Romano. He's always posting, and he's always on X. He's chained to that phone, I swear. Remember Blackberries, by the way? Craig had a Blackberry. Whoa, hang on a second. I am Craig, aren't I, Gonzo? Never trust anyone that talks about themselves in the third person. Back to the palindrome, Hugo Ekitike. So this was in late July anyway. A deal in place for fee over €90 million for the French striker to join from Eintracht, which means United, by the way, just a slight aside. Not mansplaining. Or person-splaining, I guess we've got to keep it woke, can't we? Otherwise, we'll end up being cancelled on a blog post. Probably by Fabrizio Romano. Anyway, yeah, Liverpool signed a French striker from Eintracht Frankfurt. It was €90 million, potentially reaching 95 due to add-ons. It's a 6-year deal. That, to me, fucking mental. 6 years. Nothing like locking him in. I mean, mind you, he's only what? Is he 20? Is he 22, 23? We'll find out in just a second. Anyway, back to this bloody tweet, this bloody expose. 6-year deal for Ekitike, valid until June 2031. Apparently, kissing that badge, isn't he? He only wanted that Liverpool move. He only wanted to go to Liverpool, and he's part of Arne Slot's. I'm not doing the voice, because it'll sound wrong and then we will get cancelled. He's part of Liverpool FC's new front line. That's that new striker for Slot. They are Fabrizio Romano. Always post. Let's have a look at his background then. Hugo Ekitike, the palindrome. And of course, we always turn first and foremost to Manu's transfer market. So Hugo Ekitike, he is 23, we were right, yeah, 23 years of age. His height is 1m90, which off the top of my dome is about 6'2", 6'3", so he's gangly, not as tall as Peter Crouch, the Liverpool and England legend. Peter Crouch is, what is he? He's 2'2", so what? He's 6'7", 6'8". Ridiculous, right? He needs a step ladder. But then again, he was good in the air. And again, anyone who plays Football Manager knows about content creators like Lelujo. He does like a tall boy up front. It works on those set-piece routines. Yeah, Hugo Ekitike, he's French, obviously. He's French. I don't know why I said obviously. You might not have guessed that, but there's French logos all over. And the fact that he started out playing for Reims probably gave it away. He hasn't played for the national team, though, in France. He hasn't played for Les Bleus, but he has played at other under age groups, yeah. Under 20s, played 6 times, didn't score a goal, then got his promotion up to the under 21s, where he scored in every single game that he played in. 5 games, 5 goals, and he hasn't played for the under 23s, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fast-tracked straight into Didier Deschamps' national team, yeah, the men's seniors team. I can see that happening very soon. If we look at his background, just to see the journey that he's been on, again, he started out as in the youth academy, so he's a product of Reims. Again, please see that comment section down below. Here's a heartfelt appeal. Help us with pronunciations. How about you use that comment section down there and you write in phonetically how we're supposed to pronounce it. We always struggle with French teams. We struggle with most teams, to be fair, but let's move on. I know it's not Rennes, and again, if you watch other content creators, if you watch people like Omega Luke and his dad, who's hilarious, Omega Dad, see what they did there. They don't like Rennes for some reason. Yeah, you'd have to go back to his catalogue of videos to see why they don't like Rennes. Anyway, Reims. So, youth product, played it on the 17s, played for the B team, so this is all in France, by the way. So again, it's literally going from boys to men. Other boy bands are available. Gets a transfer out to Denmark, and again, off camera, I have to admit that we thought it was Norway, so we did put out another heartfelt appeal to Fi's a member of Lord Taffman's community. Taffman10, he's a brilliant content creator. He's, we watch him streaming Football Manager 24. Yeah, go and check him out. He is infectious, enthusiastic, funny as fuck, and more importantly, authentic. And that's how we like our people in life, not just our content creators. We love hanging out with authentic people, don't we, Gonzo? We do. We like hanging out with authentic people. So yeah, back on track then. Ekitike, the palindrome. Reims youth, playing in league. Duh. Goes out to Denmark. Comes back. Gets a move to PSG, but only on loan. They like him. They pony up 28 million euro to sign him permanently. Goes out on loan to Frankfurt. Frankfurt then buy him outright eventually for 31.5 million, and we'll find out why soon. And of course, he's just done his big transfer, which is the whole point of this video. He's gone to Liverpool. Manu here is quoting it as 80 million. Here we go. It's quoted as going up to potentially 95 million because of add-ons, etc., etc. Yeah, I can believe it. Let's have a look at why then, right? So this is why. So if we sort of look at this in ascending order, making sure that you can see it on the screen. Under 19s at Reims, he played a game there, didn't score. Again, look at his time in Denmark. 3 goals, 2 assists, and of course, here we go. Fabrizio Romano likes to refer to, because most football agents do, don't they, right? Most football agents now, they position their talent with the metric of goals and assists, don't they? Hence the G/A that you see banded about all over the internet and social media. Anyway, so Denmark, Superliga, so top division in Denmark, 5 GA and 11 starts. When we're back in France for the B team at Reims, then for the full men's team. Look at this. So 15 GA in 28 games. I'm assuming that's all in one season. When he's playing for PSG, so some of this was on loan, but some of this was then for the actual proper, I say proper, that's a very northern phrase. We use that a lot in the north of England. Yeah, proper. He's playing for PSG proper, but that's a PSG team that Luis Enrique is in silently rebuilding, which then goes on to, of course, win the European Cup. We're stuck in the past, aren't we? I've just realised that. Yeah, not that I'm saying we see the world through rose-tinted glasses, but anyway, yeah, Luis Enrique's building a squad that then silently goes on this march to win the Champions League last season, 24-25. Not just win it, fucking absolutely iced. That's a new phrase that I learnt from Zealand. Again, Zealandism, go and check him out on Twitch. He streams Football Manager. He's been playing that game inside out for decades. So he's just put on a tournament, by the way. Again, you can go and find it on YouTube. Very captivating content. It was called The League. So 20 content creators playing Football Manager. League style, goes through to a bracket, which had a very fascinating gauntlet, the gauntlet style knockout bracket. So like 5 plays 8 and 6 plays 7, and then they went through to a semi and to a final. Captivating. Yeah, go and check that out. The League. Go and check out Zealand. Yeah, again, another guy that's, well, he's hyped, isn't he? USA. Yeah, he's full of hype, but it's worth it. I know you're not supposed to believe the hype, but go and believe that one. Anyway, what was the point I was trying to make? Yes, PSG ice Inter in that Champions League final 5-0. But Hugo Ekitike wasn't part of it. So that was a pointless rabbit hole we went down, wasn't it? I guess what I'm trying to say, he was a front man for PSG at that point in his career, along with Kylian Mbappe, because all the other Galacticos were shipped out. There was no Messi, there was no Neymar. Again, silent rebuild from Luis Enrique, the farmer's market. Anyway, then as we learnt from the transfers, from his background, he does then end up at Frankfurt, where in 64 games in the Bundesliga. And talking of Farmers Leagues, I will just back this up, that I know people trash talk it. It's competitive, and it must be competitive, the Bundesliga, for this very simple fact that Liverpool spunked over 140 million on Florian Wirtz, right? Who came from fucking Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, right? So it can't be a farmers league, can it? Because if you've got talent like that, don't forget they also signed Frimpong as well. And again, Ekitike was playing in Frankfurt, right? The Adler, SG, and he's gone and signed for Liverpool. So it can't be a farmers league, can it? Anyway, we think it's better than the Premier League, don't we, Gonzo? Yeah, give me a claw, man. Oh, watch them claws on Aubameyang's head, won't you? Yeah, look at that. 26 goals, 14 assists across 2 seasons for Frankfurt. And he also played in the UEFA Europa League, didn't he? Because again, Jack, this is turning into a big loving for the Taft man. Anyway, Jack, he's cool. He's a Spurs fan. You know me. He'll tell you that Tottenham did knock out the Eagles of Frankfurt on the way to winning the Europa League against Manchester United. What am I trying to say? There is quality in Germany in the Bundesliga, as proven by the fact that Liverpool have signed Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, and now Hugo Ekitike. That's a 40 GA in 64 games for Frankfurt. I think we will clap that in. And it's not surprising then that, again, Liverpool have spent in that bracket from 80 million going up to 95. It's not surprising, is it? Let's have a look on HughScored.com just for his actual breakdown of his numbers. So last year he started 31 games, was a sub twice. I recall that was towards the end of the season as they were fighting to retain their status in European football for next year. And it is a 34-game season, by the way, in the Bundesliga. So, yeah, 31 starts, 2 sub-appearances, 15 goals, 8 assists. That's a 23 GA contribution out of a 34-game season. We'll clap that in again. And I always like what you get from HughScore.com. You can look at his strengths, look. Dribbling, that's true. Key passes and passing. And I will just call out a comment that I got on an earlier video, because I say early, we've only been going since February, but somebody did call out on an earlier video of ours that Ekitike, you should stay clear of him because he doesn't pass. He's just a selfish striker. And I was like, well, isn't that the point, right? I mean, look, there's one here, look, Aubameyang. He's selfish as they come, but his goal scorer record's pretty impressive. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, somebody called out Hugo Ekitike, don't touch him, doesn't pass. Anyway, apparently his strengths are key passes and passing. No weaknesses. See, Richard Hughes, who's fast becoming, well, he should be the next James Bond, right? Because he looks the part. There's some great memes, isn't there, by the way, on X of Richard Hughes, sporting director Liverpool, hair slicked back, looking like Piers Brosnan. Nearly said Piers Morgan. That would have got me cancelled. Shades and a cigar, and the cigar's wrapped with some dollar bills, yeah. Anyway, yeah, great effort from Liverpool and everyone involved at the executive level. What a stunning transfer window you've had. More on that in this video later on. Yeah, 23 GA season last year for Hugo Ekitike, the 23-year-old Frenchman. But you're probably thinking, out of those 15, they're all penalties, right? In that Farmers League, that's the Bundesliga. And it's not true. They weren't all penalties. And here's my point, look. So, only 1 penalty converted by Ekitike out of 15, and that was against Hoffenheim, against Luca Philippe. And he actually missed 2. That does wind me up as a former goalkeeper. They were saved. And I can speak candidly and honestly about that because I watched those 2 games. Yeah, they were both saves. Frederick Renau, what a keeper, by the way, for Union Berlin, and Thomas Darnay from relegated Holstein Kiel. Anyway, yeah, so only 1 goal out of his 15 was a penalty. And here's an interesting breakdown of that too, that out of his 15 goals, look, 8 in the 6-yard box, 7 in the penalty area, but again, only 1 of those was a PK conversion. And again, just out of those 15 goals that he scored last year for Frankfurt, just to put that in context, by the way, Frankfurt last season scored 68 times in the Bundesliga, and he scored 15 of them. And the other guy that chipped in, and he was out the door by January, was Omar Mamouche, who did go, drum roll please, he went Vamouche, didn't he? Thank you, Gonzo, gets a claw again. Yeah, so that's 30 goal contributions, not the, it's getting confusing, isn't it? 30 goals between them out of the 68, so that's half of the goals. So that does also highlight the fact that Are they gonna struggle next year? Question mark. Any Eintracht Frankfurt fans out there, any SGE fans, let me know in the comment section down below. How much do you think you're going to struggle next year, based on the fact that you don't really have a talisman? But you do, don't you? You have Johnny Breakout, who's slowly establishing himself in the national team, isn't he? For Deutschland. And I did learn the other day that, yeah, you're not supposed to use Mine Shaft as a term politically, and we have no religion, no politics on this show. Let's get this back on track to the palindrome. Yeah, he did weigh in last year, didn't he? Along with Mamouche. So Mamouche had 24, but then again, he did that in 4 months? So that was just proves how savvy these Premier League teams are at picking off the best talent from that Farmers League, eh? That is the Bundesliga. Of course, it's not fucking Farmers League. And also, again, yeah, I talked about it already, that he did score not just in the Bundesliga, but he did score in the Europa League and in the DFB Pokal. Yeah, and that Europa League run where they got all the way through to the quarter-final and got knocked out by by the Spurs. 12 appearances, 4 goals, 7 assists. So again, 12 games, 7 GAs. It's impressive. And of course, then he gets that transfer to Liverpool, which is the theme of this whole video. And he scored, didn't he, within 4 minutes of his debut against Crystal Palace in the Charity Shield, the Community Shield final, which is just hilarious, by the way. Again, just some mansplaining for you, background on it, because you might be an international viewer. If you are, welcome in. Yeah. Avon Benu, is that? Anyway, doesn't matter. The winners of the last season's FA Cup play the winners of the Premier League, the Championship winners. So in this case, it was Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. I just love the fact that that's not me, by the way. Liverpool's got a line going through it. I assume that's to denote the fact that they didn't win, that Crystal Palace won. Anyway, my point here is Ekitike scored after 4 minutes. And what a cracker it was, by the way. If you've seen it, if you haven't, go onto YouTube, go onto Instagram, even use Ask Jeeves. Have a look. He's on the edge of the box. Was it a 1-2? I'm not sure who it was with. He gets the ball, his head down. He's muscling his way past a couple of Palace defenders, and it's a low drilled shot, right foot, say 18 odd yards out, maybe 18 yards, goes in the bottom corner. Liverpool go ahead 1-0, which they do ultimately lose, and you can't blame Ekitike. You can't call him a bottler for not taking a penalty, because he was substituted. He was substituted, right? When did he go off? He went off 71st minute. So yeah, there you go. Fascinating background there. Fascinating background on the palindrome. I'm not going to mansplain that one for you. And because we spent a lot of time on X as part of our research for these videos, we do see a lot of comments from fans, from the people of Planet Football, and some of these posts just jump out. They're usually they're usually toxic, and they're very polarizing, which is fascinating to us, because it's a barometer, right, of what fans think about, well, I guess the business of football, which it is today, and what they think about certain players. This one jumped straight out to us here. Look, this is Just Freaky. Is that right? Oh, fuck it. Who cares? You're probably not going to find this video. But anyway, Just Freaky comes up with huge congratulations to Liverpool FC on securing the signing of Hugo Ekitike. There's some interesting emojis. A massive addition up front. Young, talented, and ready to thrive at Anfield. 79 million, that's in pounds. So yeah, 80 million euro, 85 million euro, was it? 90? Who cares? He could keep going if he keeps scoring like he did 4 minutes into his Liverpool debut. 79 million shows just how much faith the club has in him. A 6-year deal, a new chapter and a bright future ahead. Can't wait to see him link up with the squad on tour and light it up in red. Welcome to Liverpool, Hugo. And then some hashtags, you'll never walk alone. That's Just Freaky. Backed up by Makinawa Lama, Wonder Kid. Flame emoji, right? So we've gone, well done Liverpool, calling out some of his attributes, the Hugo Ekitike attributes. Young, talented, ready to thrive. Wonder Kid. And then, here we go. Call you Staz. 79 million for Ekitike. All the question marks. Liverpool really said we don't scout, we gamble. The laughing face emoji. Blink twice if this guy is actually worth it, or should we prep the flop alert sirens already? And I can already feel. I can already feel Games Messiah, aka Put on the Shades, typing as we speak, going, yeah, told you, lot of money on that guy. And again, there's a comment up on the screen of ageism, I guess, ageism within football. If you're old enough and you can score goals and you're good enough, and your transfer fee will be a representation of that. Yeah, we had a bit of an interesting exchange on a Discord chat, old Games Messiah and myself, and he pointed out that, you know, Victor Gyökeres, he's 28 and he's banged in all those goals, and I was like, yeah, but the sell-on value, he's over the hill. Nah, was it 54 goals last season for Victor Gyökeres for a 28-year-old? So yeah, I do hold my hand up to you and say, you got a good point there, son. You've got a good point. Cool, you Staz. He's not buying into it, is he? And here we go. Look, this is CFC Obed. Is he even better than Nicholas Jackson? One for you there, Big Jim up the Chelsea. Is he even better than Nicholas Jackson? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look on Huge scored. Last season, Nicholas Jackson in the Premier League. 30 games, so 28 starts, 2 sub-appearances, 10 goals, 5 assists. So, yeah, 30 games, or 30 appearances, 15 GA. Let's compare that again with Hugo Ekitike. 34 games, 15 goals, 8 assists, so 23 GA. I'll let you make up your own mind on that one. And actually, at time of recording, this news has just broken. Not content with Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkes, Mark Gui. Oh, clear off. No, don't clear off. Use that comment section down below to help us with the pronunciation. Anyway, yeah, Mark Gui to Liverpool. Here we go. It's Fabrizio Romano again. Plan from July. As confirmed, it's all been agreed between the clubs. 40 million, that's pounds, so in euro, what's that? Let's just call it 45 million euro transfer fee. 45 million euro approximately transfer fee. Long-term deal, unspecified at this point. Mark Gui, Isak for medical. He's set. Well, he's always typing. He's typing so fast, and he's furious. He's got all this data coming in. No wonder he makes the odd typo. Christ, we make enough faux pas, don't we? Mark Gui is set for medical in the upcoming days. Mark Gui to Liverpool, never in doubt. And again, let's have a look at some of the transfer dealings that old Richard Hughes. And I learnt this actually earlier in my research, that Richard Hughes did in fact play for Grimsby Town once upon a time. Of course, we do come from Grimsby, even though we live in Hull. Yeah, it was Paul Groves actually talked him out of retirement to come back to play for Grimsby Town. I believe that was, 2003? Somewhere around that time. Anyway, yeah. Of course, they knew each other because Paul Groves did work with him at Portsmouth. Anyway, yeah, this is a masterclass in summer transfer business from Liverpool FC. This is according to One Football. Again, a bit like Caribou, if you want some content making, we're right here, aren't we, Gonzo? We're right here. Big fans of One Football. It's a great subscription service. This is not a paid video, just for the record. We just enjoy this. A lot of the games are free. There's no commentary. And actually, a lot of the leagues are. Norway, Denmark, Czechia. Hey, come on. That's how you get your football manager knowledge, isn't it? Get your Wonder Kid knowledge by watching football on One Football. Not Planet Football. That's a Dishy Danny quote from Always Buying Chelsea. Anyway, look at this. 196 million euro earned from the sale of 9 players. Of course, Darwin Núñez has just gone to Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League. And he'll be playing against Yeah, you saw this one coming, didn't you? Kingsley Coman, who's just been pushed out the door of FC Bayern Munich, that's right, because Al Nassr have come in, was it €35 million bid with some add-ons on top? So anyway, yeah, how about that? So Kingsley Coman will be reunited with Sadio Mane. Those two already been playing alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, João Felix, ex-Chelsea, Big Jim up the Chelsea, and Ignacio Martinez, who joined on a free from Barcelona. So yeah, all these guys. Now on the one side of the coin you go money grabbing bastards. On the other side I go savvy, very savvy from their agents, because they're setting their families up for life. You would do exactly the same as I would. Look after your family first and foremost. Anyway, 190, so call it €200 million from the sale of 9 players. They spent 310 million on 6, but when the talent includes Florian Wirtz from that Farmers League, fuck me, Liverpool are going to storm it next year, absolutely. Anyhow, this made us chuckle. Hugo Ekitike will wear the number 22 shirt. 22 backwards, he's 22. Ekitike backwards is Ekitike. Yep, the palindrome himself. It made us chuckle, because once upon a time, we did actually go to school. What do you think then, people? What do you think? Calling all you Liverpool FC fans out there. You signed the palindrome Hugo Ekitike. It could end up being €100 million. Is it going to be worth it? The guy's 23. Last season, he came up with a 23 goal assists contribution. He's already scored on his Liverpool debut within 4 minutes. What do you think of him? What have you thought of him so far? I mean, he's only played, 71, 73 competitive minutes for your team, and the actual Premier League proper doesn't start for 2 more weeks? So he's got more time to acclimatise to Liverpool? I don't know what that voice was. He's got more time to acclimatise to his surroundings, his teammates, training drills. Yeah, come the start of the season, how lethal is he going to be? How many goals do you think he's going to score this season? And where are Liverpool going to finish? That comment section down below, it's all yours. Got your name written all over it. Let us know. Anyway, thank you if you got this far in the video. Yeah, Gonzo and I, always grateful. We are posting more content on a daily basis. We are going to start streaming again soon. So please, if you haven't already, here's a little request from us. Have a think about. In fact, fuck it, don't think about it. Just please do it. Use the double pivot, smash the like, hit the subscribe, and when you're out and about and in with a shout, spread the word about the channel, please. Tell your classmates, your workmates, your familiar, your family. Bring them over, because we could do with the support. We're trying to build a community here on Planet Football. We'll go in now. I'll be the same. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.